MTN SME Hub. Link to growth. Link to success. Link to the ultimate resource for business advice and insights.
Welcome back to the Big Small Business Show. And in studio with us today, we've got Seati Moloi. He's the founder and CEO of Khoi Africa. And they produce these, I'm going to say watches, digital watches with a health, or how would I describe that?
So it's a smartwatch.
Smartwatch?
Yes, with three major functionalities. It's health, mainly, it's sports, as well as communication.
Okay, so let's just talk about, in the previous segment, you spoke about the fact that you've got, one of the differences is you built software for corporate. Yeah. Why would a corporate, what's in it for them to have all their staff on a watch such as this?
So it's extremely important. Like I said, COVID helped us to sort of do thorough research. And after manufacturing our watches, we found out that there's a gap within the corporate space for services like employee wellness. And we found it to be manual. It lacked technology. And our smartwatches were making a difference in terms of making them use technology for employee wellness services.
So if I can just belabor that, the user case, I've a corporate, I've got 500 employees in a building. They all buy, do they buy the watch or I buy the watch for them? And the information that goes up, why I don't want you to have all my information.
Yes.
And if I'm going to have a heart attack, do they know that I'm on the third floor in office 413? Like, third floor, I'd be 313. Okay. Like, how does that work just practically?
Okay. So practically what we do then, the employer will buy watches for the employees and we'll provide the software. We call it the Khoi.health group application. It merges the data into a single database for all those 500 employees. And then should anything happen to the employees, the system will pick it up to say, Seati, wherever he is, anywhere in the world, might be having a condition, whether it's a heart attack or stroke attack or fever or hypertension.
Yeah.
So using GPS technology, which is embedded within the watch, you'll be able to detect where this person is.
Okay. So I know now it's 12 o'clock. Seati's in office 313 on the third floor. Do I come down, do I send somebody to you and say, we get picking up that there's something wrong with you?
Yes.
And so let's send you to hospital.
Yes, absolutely.
Or to a doctor, or let's bring a nurse in.
Yes.
Okay.
I suppose it depends on the severity of the condition.
Yeah.
But let's say a person is stressed. Let's say a person is having a continuous irregular heart rate. You'll be able to pick it up. The system will notify you as the employer to say, Seati, wherever he is, he might not be feeling okay. Sometimes it can be stress, and all the person needs to do is just to relax.
Yeah.
But if it's an extreme condition, like an extreme or continuous heart attack, irregular heart reading, then they need to see a doctor as soon as possible.
Okay, you also spoke about, which I liked, about the sports team application as well. I like that even more than the corporate.
Yeah.
Because that feels a little bit more contained.
Yes.
And also more specific. So just talk to me about that value proposition.
So a lot of people, especially athletes, they understand smartwatches because it gives them data for their training. So what we did for the group application as well was to merge multiple devices where, for instance, a sports team, they can be training together and collecting their activity data and for them to do things like sports analytics. Because modern day, it's also about analyzing that data to see how well you've trained and how well you've performed.
And have you broken into that market?
Yes. Fortunately, we were talking to a national team.
Yeah.
And they'll be using our devices for their training purposes. Because in the local market, that's where we also saw the gap to say there isn't a usage of technology for sports data analytics.
Okay. The visualization platform that you building that?
Yes.
Okay. So you've got a team of programmers, developers that are building that.
Yes.
And that IP, that visualization tool is yours.
Yes. It's 100% owned by us as a company, Khoi Tech, P2 Ltd. This is where we make a difference in a sense that we might not necessarily be manufacturing the devices 100% here in South Africa, but we made sure that from an IP point of view, the software resides here in South Africa.
So in a way, you're an IoT business.
Yes, we're Internet of Things. Yeah. Absolutely.
All right.
Spot on.
All right.
Yes.
So all right. And the device, instead of being some sensor in a building or in a mine, it's on a human.
Yes, it's on a human, and remember it uses this intelligent sensors to be able to measure your activity, your health, report it to a platform. We compute it, store it on a cloud, and you're able to draw these reports.
Okay, so you mentioned an ecosystem in the insert. You said you're building this broader ecosystem. Just take us through what that ecosystem is and how it helps Khoi, how it helps you.
So the ecosystem obviously starts with the device itself.
Yeah.
It can be any device. It's not necessarily limited to the smartwatches. It can be health rings that are coming up.
What's a health ring?
A health ring is a ring that you wear. It also measures your
on your finger.
On your finger,
right.
Yes. These are coming up. We are doing research on that, and quite a number of big giants are also doing research on that.
Yeah.
There are people that do not want to divorce their expensive watches. So for those, there's an alternative health ring. So it does exactly what a smartwatch does. So it's an ecosystem of devices, the individual software that reads data from those from those devices, as well as the group application and the management tool that is sitting on the cloud.
Okay, last question around. You spoke also about the other big players, Huawei, Samsung, Apple, etc. From a feature perspective, is there anything different in the actual features? So if they've got 10 features, do you have the same 10 features, or do they have 10 and you've got 8, or do you have 2 that they don't have? Not from the visualization, but actually physically on the watch.
Yes. So when we started out, because we interacted with quite a number of medical practitioners, and remember this was for us to address COVID. One of the basic features that we did not find in these watches was something like temperature. So we included the temperatures in our watches. Majority of features are more or less similar. And where we are making the difference is in the visualization. But yes, there are features that are common across all the smartwatches from different players.
Okay, so I think I've got enough. And the 2 questions that you asked was access to markets. To talk about that, and access to funding were the 2 major points that you want to talk about.
Yes, absolutely. So I suppose for a business, being an SMME, having started the business self-funded, we're fortunate enough to have grant funding from Telkom ESD program, but we would love to scale because there are huge opportunities within the private sector. There are huge opportunities within the sports teams. So we'd love to bring more resources, and for us to be able to fund that, we need funding. We need access to market for us to be able to tap into all these corporates so that we can present our innovative offering.
Okay, Seati, I think I've got enough. Please stay tuned. After the break, I'll be giving Seati some things to think about.
MTN SME Hub, link to business success.